Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by REC Comics and Collectibles. I'm your host, Roman Chavez, and with me, as always,
Eric Icarus.
Eric,
we're back, baby.
You can find us on the gram.
I didn't get replaced.
He didn't get replaced. There's literally going to be just like a couple days between the episode he wasn't on and this one. All right,
but check it out. It looks awesome.
But sweet baby Eric, he was very missed. You can find us on the gram at REC Podcast. You can follow myself at Roman REC Podcast, and you can follow the shop at REC Comics, and you can come visit us at 7679 North Union Boulevard in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And you can see Eric walking around sometimes now.
Oh, big time, baby.
These days.
Got to apologize for the lapse in the show because I don't have a vehicle at the moment. Car problems do ensue sometimes. And they're always never fun.
Yeah.
So I've been vehicleless for a week now.
Yeah.
And they can't diagnose the problem. It's kind of a bummer, dude. And,
just like your love life, bro. Can't diagnose the problem, all right?
Even though it's probably me.
It's going to be tied. It's you tied to the car. There's something going on there, okay? You guys got to get that worked out, all right? Well, we had a few, definitely more than a few things happen since the last time we met. Mm-hmm. And the big downer and the big bummer is Kevin Conroy, the voice of the Dark Knight, the voice of Batman, passed away at 66 with a short battle with cancer. Right. I didn't even know he was sick.
I didn't either.
Because to be honest, the guy always was kind of looked sick to me.
Right.
He was just always very, very, gaunt.
Yeah, and that's fine. I know how that goes.
It was it definitely shocked the pop culture and nerd world. Like I said, we've talked about him many times on the show. Video games, Batman the Animated Series, several animated films, even got to do a live action Bruce Wayne in the Crisis crossover on the CW.
Yes.
So it was, it's weird because that voice does not match that guy, but man, it was just really cool. It doesn't.
It kind of doesn't.
Yeah.
You don't expect that very booming, sexified voice coming out.
Oh God, it's one of the best.
I will say, and I'm probably not the only one going to think this, that when you even read a Batman comic, guess what you hear?
Yeah,
you hear him and Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
when you are reading, Joker and Batman respectively, and
total.
I just. To say it is a voice of a generation is not too far off.
Several generations, I think.
Exactly. The guy carried the show with his voice, and that is hard to do.
Yes.
I don't think. I mean, obviously, I don't know if the Batman show would be as popular. We can't say that either way, but I don't know. I think the voice casting does have a lot to do with the animated series.
It's so important, and so many shows do it well, and when it's not done well, you feel it. I always thought that the original Meg Griffin voice was not good.
Right. Yeah. It's just a little off.
Just didn't really work. I think that when they got what's her face?
Mila Kunis.
Yeah. It really, really clicked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very sad. I had the opportunity to meet him once, and I got his autograph, awesome. Cool, and just told him what a million other fans had told him, that his voice is the voice.
You are Batman.
Yeah, you are Batman, and he signed a picture for me and everything. It was really cool, and it's quite the bummer.
Yeah, it's just another crap part of the year.
Yeah,
losing somebody important to the nerd culture, and just in general, it's always sad to lose somebody.
Yeah, whenever a light goes out, and also just this week too, Green Ranger Jason David Frank passed away as well.
That's right.
Yeah, what's being reported as suicide, which is unfortunate. The details have not been fully put out there, and I don't even know if that's been confirmed, but it has been the running title on many article, of Green Ranger, White Ranger, fame, and really, really involved in the Power Rangers community.
Oh God! Well, he was at the. I didn't meet him per se, but at that Comic-Con after party.
Yeah.
He was there DJing, so I got to see him DJing. Him and the Red Ranger.
Yeah.
Were there? Yes. Yeah. So I didn't meet them per se, but I was in the vicinity boogieing down with some fellow nerds.
Yeah.
While they spun some tunes. It was pretty fun.
I think we have a soft spot for Power Rangers because we were there for that first season.
Oh, yeah.
But it has become so much more. I'm not involved in it, but like I said, I've seen him at cons and everything, and he always seemed to be really respectful with the fans.
Oh, yeah.
So many people had posts about them and pictures with him,
Right.
And and we've talked about this before, like. It's such a cool thing that these cons have generated revenue for people that you would think, without the con circuit, the Power Rangers revenue is probably not as powerful.
Probably not making the money that they should be making,
but
off
making
of residuals.
a good living
yeah.
off of those con appearances. And when you're cool with your fans, people remember that. So
yeah, and they're going to keep inviting you back.
Whatever demons and problems that he had, he I hope he knew that how much he meant to the community.
Course, yeah.
And with him and Kevin Conroy, we're pulling one out for you guys. And it's always a bummer. It's always a bummer for the community.
Yeah.
I think Eric might have a story that he wants to share that might cheer us up.
No, okay. Well, it just made me mad because on my way over here, being carless, right? I had my driver drop me off.
Your mom?
No, not my mom. But yeah. So I did want to get here too early.
Sure.
So there's a bookstore not too far from here. So I'm like, you know what? Just drop me off at the bookstore, and it's fine. I'll walk. And so I'm walking through my old neighborhood. Funny enough. So I'm just walking. I'm smoking a cigarette. I have my headphones in, and then I see a gentleman come out of his door. I'm about halfway. Here's his house. I'm about this way, and I see him like, "Hey, excuse me," and I turn around. And I'm like, "Yeah," and I take my headphones out, and he goes, "Do you live around here?" I'm like, I go, "Why does that matter?" And he goes, "Well, we just have a neighborhood watch around here, and we just don't." And I'm smoking a cigarette too. He goes, "We just don't, care for people smoking cigarettes on our block. We have a unspoken rule here." Oh. He's telling me this. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And funny enough, my driver's license still has my old address. So it was actually right around the corner. Didn't show him that though, but if he did call the police, I could just whip that out. And I just says that, well, it doesn't really matter. I was like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? Because at this point, I'm getting a little fired up.
Yeah.
So I'm just in there smoking. And he's like, well, if you don't live around here, maybe you should, just walk a little faster.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Maybe you should go back the way you came.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, yeah, for sure. Yes, sir. And, so I you know what? I wait until he goes back inside, and then I sit down on the curb and then light up another cigarette.
Oh, yeah.
And just to antagonize.
Yeah, sure.
You know what? I don't care if I'm pushing 40. I can still, I'm still a little punk rocker.
I'll still start some shit.
I can still do that. And he sticks his head out and he goes, I thought we had a little talk a second ago. I'm like, oh, I go, yeah, we did. And I'm processing it right now.
And nothing helps me process it
and it's like a nice, good cigarette.
Smoke.
So I'm just smoking, blowing smoke everywhere. And he goes, if you don't vacate pretty soon, I'm going to have to call the police. I'm like, please call the police. I'd love you to call the police, sir.
Yeah.
And at this point, he goes back inside and shuts his main door. So I don't think he wants any trouble. I think he's realizing, oh, what if this guy is crazy? He knows where I live.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I could easily go in there. So I almost want to give his address out, but I won't. I won't.
That's so funny.
I just thought that was pretty fun. I felt like Rambo in the first Rambo movie when he's just walking through town and that cop pulls up and says, we don't take kindly to vagrants around here.
Erik the Vagrant.
Yeah, and I'm like, and then, it'd be funny if they did pick me up.
Yeah.
Like, you got a place to eat around here? Yeah, there's a diner about 30 miles up the road. So, that was my little Rambo moment, just antagonizing this old guy.
Like a sheriff deputy that comes out. Oh my god!
And they lock me up, but I don't have the fighting skills of Rambo. Yeah. So I would I would not be doing very well.
Just putting cigarettes out on people left and right.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. That I don't think I look like a vagrant, do I?
No.
But I guess when you have your hood up, it does make you look a little more menacing, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. It's funny, and it is funny that you did live in that neighborhood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If the cops did come, I live right there.
Yeah.
And show them my ID. I'm just walking.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a crime for walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you old mother.
Oh, gosh. Okay, calm down.
I mean, he was old, too, man.
Yeah.
And I get he's trying to protect his neighborhood, but come on, man. I would, if he didn't say anything, I would have been out of that area in 10 seconds.
Smash cut to Eric flicking cigarettes and
lawns.
I
almost did. He had some dry leaves by his tree. I was about to go. Yeah, but I just thought that was a little incourteous, not nice to your fellow man.
Yeah,
you know?
it's weird to like get up out of your chair.
Yes,
in your house.
Then,
to do
how
that.
long were they watching me?
I mean, you're just walking.
I was
right?
literally just walking by, and then I got maybe 10 feet past his house, and then he just sticks his head out and staring, and then he starts to have this conversation about me not able to smoke on his block.
Not having these unwritten rules memorized. Jesus.
Yeah, so whoever you are, if you watch it, that'd be funny if you watch.
Oh my gosh, he's like our #1 fan.
Yes. Oh, I'm unsubscribing.
Are you REC's Erik?
Are you Erik? Oh my god.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's it. I just thought it was funny. He said it felt like Rambo, a little bit like Rambo.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You know.
We're
started this.
We're not going to Burma or wherever Rambo lays his knife, but we will be stepping into Wakanda. Black Panther 2: Wakanda Forever is out.
I love that segue.
We do our research here, and we have thoughts. The movies. The movie made really good money worldwide. I think it opened at $330 million.
Nice.
And it should do some heavy box office, especially with the Thanksgiving coming up. Erik hasn't seen it in its entirety, but I've seen most of it. He's seen the gist.
I've seen most of it on a torrent site.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! Don't get us. I didn't. I paid my money, Disney.
Well, I'd love to go. I don't have a car.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's true. And you're out there being a menace to society. So, but yes. So kids, we are going to be talking spoilers and things, plots, and all that stuff. I will not ruin the credit scene because I will say the credit scene. It's better if you get the
impact.
No, the build and the impact work. Okay. So
fair enough.
So again, we will be talking spoilers. I'm not going to say the whole thing, but right off the bat, they pay great homage to Chadwick Boseman. We do get the Marvel credits, usually where they show all the Avengers as the letters are coming into focus. And in this, it was just all purple, and it was all Chadwick Boseman, and it was very beautiful. It's very quiet. There's no music playing. They basically open up with his funeral, so it's a very cathartic experience for all involved. We get to experience it as the viewers. I'm not going to say how he dies, because I also want you to get that, because I actually think it's very comic booky in the best way.
Sure.
Great comic book science.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to spoil that, but they do address his death. I think they address it well, and it's definitely tastefully.
Not giving spoilers. You don't see any body doubles. It's very, very well done.
Yeah.
Not giving anything away. It is. It pays tribute while moving the story along.
Yes.
Which is perfect. It was a perfect way to do it. I don't think they could have done it better.
Yes,
honestly.
We, the big question on everybody's mind was, what are we going to do with the Atlanteans?
Yes.
What are we going to do with Namor and the Atlanteans? And, they're not Atlanteans.
They're Mexicans.
They're sea Mexicans, all right? And they come from a place called Talacoan, I think is how you say the word.
Tijuana.
It's not TJ. It's not TJ. Yeah, Tijuana. And they look really cool. And the plot device of the film is that the other governments of the world are really looking into vibranium. It's so much so that even some governments have gone and attacked and tried to get information from Wakandan sites around the world. So the race for vibranium is becoming a real thing.
Okay.
So some governments in the world are looking in the ocean to see if they can find vibranium.
Okay.
Well, they find some. And guess what? It makes sense. More than one meteor hits.
Another fragment. Sure.
And there's a really cool backstory to how the Talacoans and the Wakandans are their connection. But I'll let you guys get to that. We'll leave some of the spirit in there for you. But basically, the Talacoans are they're like, okay, Wakanda, you've exposed us by the world's like lust for vibranium. Mm-hmm. So now it's like putting a target on us. Now they found some in the water. They're going to find us.
And they don't want that.
They don't want that. They were land people at one point, and they get sick when the Spaniards and the Europeans come over. They get smallpox, all of that stuff, and they're dying.
Right.
And through their medicine men, they actually find something with the vibranium that allows them to heal, but it also gives them, like, they can't just breathe on land anymore. well, Namor's mother, or they say Namor, she was pregnant with him, and since she took in this like herb that they have, it gave him special abilities, and he's Sensimia, and it gave him, and he's kind of a mutant of his people, because his people, when they go on land, they turn blue, and they have to have like a water like respirator so they can breathe, whereas he doesn't change color. He has the wings on his feet, which I thought looked cool. Some people didn't like the way that they were animated. It did remind me of the Snitch in Harry Potter. It did have heavy Snitch vibes, but snitches get stitches, kids. But no, man, he's cool. Like I had the actor's name in my head, and I'm drawing a blank. But the actor who plays Namor is freaking awesome. He is exudes the Namor presence. He's got the look. I would say that he is attainably beefy. Like he doesn't look like Jason Momoa, where it's just like, okay, come on, man. Like nobody's gonna look like this. Like this guy looks strong. He looks big. His name is Tenoch, and he looks great. You know, it is heavily Central American inspired, Mayan, Incan. It has those elements, but it all makes sense in the MCU. Of course, there's going to be the haters who don't, like that they change so much, but you want to separate yourself from Atlantis. You want to separate yourself from an Aquaman.
Of course, you have to. You have to do that.
And they do it in a way that puts more diversity into the MCU in a way that makes sense.
Sure.
Okay, let's not waste it on a... Now, yes, you could say, hey, they live underwater, they're going to be pale skinned.
Sure.
Yeah, we could do that and then have them get blue. But hey, if we have an opportunity to do it and have it make sense and to put some more culture into it, I say let's do it. As long as you don't force it. This doesn't feel forced at all. It wasn't like they changed it on a head. This is our first introduction. This is a clean slate, and it's really, really interesting. Mm-hmm. Riri Williams makes her MCU debut. Ironheart. She takes over for Iron Man for a little while.
How'd that go?
Not great for sales, but an interesting character. Kind of wunderkind protege.
She's a very smart woman.
Yes, and in college at this point, and she's actually the one who developed the technology. She had it in plans, and some government took it and used it to find vibranium.
Which government?
I don't think it's...
Was it the French?
Dude, I think it is the French, actually. And, or Algerian or something, who knows. But she's the one who develops the tech, but she's doing it as a project, but they take her tech and they find it. So that's what brings her into it. And, Namor's like, we got to kill this chick because she can find vibranium where nobody else can, blah, blah, blah. Right. The Wakandans take her under their wing, and they're like, hey, we're not going to let you do this. Wackiness ensues. Some very powerful moments happen in the movie. Angela Bassett is so good as Ramondre. They actually give us her first name. I'm sure they said it before, but it didn't stick out. And they have some really great character moments where somebody had said, why did she get to rule? Because, Challenge Day. We know that when the king or queen dies, challenge comes up,
there's
and
a fist fight.
There is a fist fight involved to any challengers of Wakandan descent.
That's
of the
how we
royal...
decide the leader here at the store.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So Ken will be challenging
Ken,
Roman here on the what day did we open?
It'll be next August. August. So we're training.
We're training
But we have M'Baku, who's been played by Winston Duke, who's been awesome as a pillar for the franchise. We've seen him in Black Panther, both in Avengers films, and I think this is his fourth or fifth appearance. And in my dreams, get out of my dreams and into my car, Winston Duke. And he's very much in an advisory role because obviously his presence matters. And somebody was like, well, why wouldn't M'Baku challenge? It's because so T'Challa's dead,
right?
Arguably his best friend, or at least political equal.
Right.
He could challenge Ramondre, but she was the former head of the Dora Milaje. Right. She was former queen to T'Chaka and queen regent to T'Challa. So it's not like she doesn't know what she's doing.
Right.
And you're telling me that M'Baku, this man that we know to be a man of honor and tradition, is going to
fight an old woman.
he's going to beat up his best friend's mom. Like, come on. But you can tell he has sway on the council and all of these things. So it's not like he's powerless. But they do a good job of showing his progression in his minimal time shown in previous projects to really like, oh man, like this is a good dude.
Yes.
There are, again, many things I don't want to spoil. I can just say that I thoroughly enjoyed the film. I think that it felt like no other MCU project. It was very heavy.
Well, you can't go into this with something like a Chadwick Boseman passing without it being heavy. Mm-hmm. The movie had a lot of boxes to check, and paying tribute was one of them. I would say that was one of the biggest boxes they had to check.
Yes,
while expanding the universe.
Yes,
this was a big deal. So I think it's going to fall short no matter what.
Yes,
I think bringing in the Atlanteans was a smart move.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for it. It was the only thing that DC beat Marvel to was the sea.
Yeah.
And I think it's very different.
It is.
If you're going into a thing it's going to be Aquaman, it's not. And of course, there's going to be that. Yeah, they all live in the water. It's Atlantis, but very different people.
Yeah.
And Namor and Arthur are very different.
Yes. And like I said, Huerta does really capture Namor's like his sensibilities, because there are a million other ways that Namor could have done this, but this was the quickest thing, and it was cool because the way that they were attacking, like the world thought that it was the Wakandans doing these attacks, because vibranium was obviously used, and they just had no witnesses, so it's just like it's clear, like they could have played it a different way and been totally fine, but because it's Namor, it makes a lot of sense.
Right? Do we get to see him Namor out?
We do get to see they get a decent fight, but I will say let's get into some of the negatives.
Okay.
While I enjoyed the movie, it is not without its faults, and one of the big things is at the end battle I could not care less about. The battle between Namor and the Black Panther.
Yeah.
Who is that? Was a good battle, but the faceless army thing it's
getting old.
It's
guys.
so old, and it just like it wasn't as good as it wasn't as good as the Aquaman. What's his name? Your boy. Not Black Manta. The other the Orm.
Orm.
Yeah, the Ocean Master. Yeah. It wasn't as good as their end fight, but it was good. Again, there was a lot of character development in this that we need if we're going to keep Wakandans and the Black Panther, like these characters who are so good here. Like I would not be mad if we saw Okoye in other Avengers projects.
Oh no,
you know what I mean?
I love that.
These established characters who can contribute and who do offer layers to the universe. So the end fight, the culmination of the fight is not good, but the culmination of the story is good.
Right.
Our boy Everett Ross is in there, and I get why he's there, but he's not really necessary, and he just feels like such an afterthought. And it sucks because I really like the character, and I don't know where they plan on going with him.
Probably not much more.
Aside from Riri Williams, her initial involvement, her later involvement in the movie feels very wasted and something they should have laid, because we do see her in the armor
already, which
and I don't care about it.
It was a jump the gun on that.
Yeah, we really could have got it in Armor Wars and had it be another moment, because it just kind of diluted the product a bit.
Yeah. It's trying to like overshadow something. At that point, she should have just been in there character only.
Yes,
no costume, just this is Riri. Everyone goes, "Oh, cool!" And then later on, we get her that triumphant, "Oh, she's in the suit." Awesome moment. Letitia Wright as
Shuri, she was great. They had like her character makes so much sense in the movie. Obviously, you'd want it to, but it wasn't like we saw anything previous that was like this chick is going to be able to. Like, there was no way they're going to replace Chadwick Boseman in, like, his aura. Oh, but, dude, the acting in this film is just, like, it's top-notch. Yeah. Lupita Nyong'o's freaking great. Everybody's so good. And I will say that where they leave the Wakandans and the Telecoans is a little shaky for me. It is gonna spill out for better story content, but when you watch it, you'll see. And like I said, I do want to leave some zest, some surprises for you guys. I'm trying to think of what another negative would have been. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Of course. I mean, it had a lot to fill, but it was enjoyable. I'm not reading anything bad about it.
Yeah, I'm not reading anything bad that I would give
to good.
I would give power to, you know, like
right,
I'm,
right.
It's
There's some haters out there, screw 'em.
It's a great story. Like I said, it doesn't feel like any other Marvel project.
Is that good or bad though?
And that's my next point is, where do we go from here? I don't know. Like, I need to see all of these characters again, and that's going to start to get pricey. And it does feel very isolated from the MCU still. So that's a problem. Like, that stuff feels very isolated. I only watched the movie once, but I don't think we see any Avengers at T'Challa's funeral, which doesn't make any sense.
That's not cool, man.
Yeah, maybe they don't want people in there. I don't know. But
right.
I can get there, but they, it seems like people would be there.
Somebody.
Yeah.
A couple of them,
Bucky, at the very least.
Bucky, yeah.
At the very least.
Bucky and Sam.
Yeah.
Why not?
So, there are questions, but far more very, satisfying moments in there. You can tell it was cathartic for the crew.
Sure.
And, oh, man, I can't speak up Angela Bassett good enough. She's so good in there. She's so good.
Yeah.
Well, that's our show, bro.
I think that's going to be it. Yeah. This is more of a check-in.
Yeah, man. We
had a lot going on this week. All of us did.
I didn't want to post this Jordan show until I could assure our fans that Eric Icarus is all right. That he's not getting smoked in some upper crusty neighborhood for.
He drew first blood, not me.
Yeah. Don't draw first blood, kids.
You're gonna be like the colonel that comes in.
Oh my god.
You'd be like, who in God's name created Erik Icarus? It's like, God didn't create Erik Icarus. I did.
Kids, if you like what we're doing, please hit that subscribe button. Click that little bell so you know when we got new stuff.
Do it.
Comment below. Let us know what you thought of Wakanda Forever. Oh, Chadwick, we miss you so. And
pour it out for Kevin Conroy.
JDF. It's a big...
To my truck.
To Eric's truck. We're taking a lot of L's. Lately. Eric, do you have any final thoughts for us?
I was going to save you drew first blood for my final line, but what's another good Rambo line from the first movie?
I do not know.
When he starts crying, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, but he looks great, though. I mean, he's a little puffy. But he looks great.
In that one. He
looks great. Kids, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Roman Chavez.
I'm Eric Rambo.
Eric Rambo, kids. We'll catch you on the next podcast.